What are the best European passports? I received a request on my last video talking about the worst European passports to maybe do a similar breakdown video about the best ones, and in today's video I'm going to be listing 10 European passports. Some of them are in the European Union, some of them are not in the European Union, but either way these 10 passports are actually very good and they might just be the perfect second option. So starting off with the European Union countries, we're going to be starting off with the country of Portugal. Now, Portugal is a very good country. It has a very nice language, and the passport is actually very popular among expats, as is the country. There are many people from countries like the UK, Ireland, Germany, the US moving to Portugal. So whether you're an EU citizen or not, Portugal is a very good European Union option. You have many visa options available, including but not limited to the D7 and the D8 visa, which is very popular among digital nomads. And another great thing with Portugal is that the country allows dual nationality, which if you've been following this channel, you will know is an absolutely monumental requirement. That's very important when we're talking about getting second citizenship. You don't want to move to a country, naturalize that, and then be surprised when they say, okay, fine, you can become a citizen of our country, but you have to give up your other passports. You never want that. So Portugal, thankfully, does allow dual nationality. The residence requirements for Portugal are a total of 7 years, but if you are content, this is actually going to be a theme in this video, if you are content and happy with Portugal, if that is a country that you want to live in, those 7 years shouldn't be an issue. And if you're working to get that citizenship, if that is your goal, then those 7 years are you just climbing the mountain. You obviously have to have a clean criminal record and naturally also be able to speak the language and pass some citizenship naturalization tests, you know, the basic procedures. But Portugal is actually very popular and, in my opinion, a very good option in Europe. Moving on to the next country on this list, we're now going further into the Mediterranean coast, and that will be the country of Italy. Italian citizenship is very popular among ethnic Italians who are living in diaspora. You are now seeing a lot of Italian Americans now actually fulfill that title by getting dual Italian American citizenship. Because Italy has a very open program where if you can prove that you have Italian heritage up until, I believe, your great-grandmother or great-grandparent, I should say, then you can get Italian citizenship. There are some talks that that's going to become stricter over the years to come, so if you have Italian ancestry and you want to get Italian citizenship, perhaps now, if you haven't started already, is the perfect time to start looking at the naturalization citizenship by descent process. Now, even if you don't have Italian ancestry, the Italian passport is actually a very good second citizenship option. The residence requirements range from about 5 to 10 years. To be honest, with many countries around the world, it really does depend upon what country you are from. If they like your country, then perhaps it will be easier for you to get citizenship. This is actually kind of uncommon in Europe. It does happen sometimes, which is why many sources on the internet for Italy said that it can take between 5 to 10 years. Again, naturally, you have to know the Italian language and also pass their citizenship tests, have a clean criminal record, all of these basic procedures. But the good news is that you are allowed to maintain dual nationality. So even if you don't have Italian ancestry, Italy is a great option, especially for expats. Italy is actually a very popular country with expats. I'd say Portugal is a little bit more popular, but Italy is certainly up there. Staying on the Mediterranean for just a little while, we're now going to be talking about the next country, which would be that of Malta. Malta has a very popular citizenship option. If you are a wealthy, ultra-high net worth individual, you can get Maltese citizenship by investment. Now, it's not as simple as you pay up about 1.2 million euros, which is the estimated price for that program. You wait a few months and you get the passport. No, there are some extra requirements. You actually do have to live in Malta for about 18 months to 3 years. So it's a little bit different to many other citizenship by investment programs, but Malta does have an existing, I believe it's the only one remaining in the European Union. A lot of European Union countries have golden visa programs, but in regards to citizenship, Malta is the only investment option where you can maintain dual nationality. Malta is once again a very popular country for expats, digital nomads, and there are many digital nomad visas for Malta. In regards to the residence requirements and the requirements in order to get citizenship, you can still get citizenship in Malta, even if you're not doing it through the descent or the investment route. It will take a little bit longer, and just bear in mind that chances are you will have to know a little bit of Maltese, which is a very unique language. It's actually the only Semitic language in the European Union, so just be aware of that. But once again, if your goal is to live in Malta and to become Maltese, these are natural instincts for you at that point. And now moving on to a very small country in sort of the northern areas of Europe, we're now going to be talking about the country of Luxembourg. Luxembourg has a very good passport. It again allows dual nationality. Residence requirements range from around 5 to 10 years. Some people have said that they were able to get it in 5 years. Some people have said that it took them around 10 years. So it does seem to be a little bit of a longer process, but Luxembourg is a very wealthy country. As to whether it's popular with digital nomads, I'm sure it is. But if we compare it to a country like Malta, Portugal, Italy, these countries are far more popular with digital nomads and expats. But if you are wanting to live in Luxembourg, if you clicked on this video thinking, okay, I have my eyes set on Luxembourg, but before I make the final decision, I want to ensure that the passport is good, they allow dual nationality, and getting citizenship is actually a feasible option for me, well, don't worry, it is. It might take a little bit longer, it might be a little bit more difficult to get and to actually get a visa to go there, but it is very possible. The next country on this list will actually benefit both non-EU citizens and EU citizens who are looking to get second citizenship. That'll be the country of the Czech Republic. Now, the Czech Republic is a very interesting country. I've personally been to the Czech Republic, and there is one major benefit for EU citizens as well. But if you are a non-EU citizen and you want to get European Union citizenship, the Czech Republic is a great option. They allow dual nationality. Residency requirements are around 5 years. You obviously have to know the language, integrate into the culture as best as you can. All of the basic stuff in order to get citizenship. But if you are an EU citizen, this is where the good stuff really comes in. You know, there are many countries around the world where if you are a citizen of a certain country or a certain political group, you can get citizenship in a second country easier. Well, the Czech Republic has a program like that for EU citizens. It's still a residency requirement, but if you are an EU citizen, let's say you're from Germany, Hungary, Slovakia, any country in the European Union, and you move to the Czech Republic and you want to get Czech citizenship, well, naturally, knowing the Czech language is important, but your residency requirements have been lowered to that of 3 years. 3 years really is not a long time if you think about it, certainly not for residency requirements. There are many countries actually in Latin America that have 3-year residency requirements, and Czech Republic is one of those few countries in Europe that also lets you get citizenship within 3 years. However, the major caveat to that is you already have to be an existing European Union citizen moving to the Czech Republic with your EU passport. And now the final European Union country on this list. This is actually a country that I've talked about a lot on this channel, and in my opinion, it potentially has the most benefits if we talk about their citizenship only. And that would be the Republic of Ireland. The Republic of Ireland, where do you even start with this passport? It's an amazing passport. They allow dual nationality just right off the bat. It's a very popular passport among the UK citizens who have Irish ancestry. And even if they don't, you are starting to see some UK citizens, most of them aren't willing to make the move because they still don't believe that having second passports is really a monumentally important thing, even though it actually is. But you are starting to see a lot of UK citizens actually moving to Ireland, naturalising an island, whether they're doing that through residency or by descent. Descent is a little bit of a shorter process. Descent takes around 2 years from actually applying to actually getting the passport, whereas residency takes around 5 years. So realistically, not that long of a time. But the Irish passport is very good for many reasons, for many unique reasons, certainly. Number one, it is the only passport in the world that allows free movement with the European Union because it is a member, but also with the UK post-Brexit because it's a member of the Common Travel Area as well. Ireland has specialised treaties with countries like the United States where you can actually get working holiday visas between the countries. They actually do have an agreement there. That's very rare to find. The Irish passport is also very respectable. You know, you're not going to turn up to any airport and they're going to have a problem with you because you're Irish. Who hates the Irish? I personally can't think of anyone who doesn't like the Irish or the Irish passport, or hell, even Irish culture. I'm personally quite fond of learning about that when I have some spare time. I really love Ireland. I think the passport is great. If you're looking for a country with better weather, then perhaps Italy, Malta, and Portugal are better options. But Irish citizenship, in my opinion, if you are a UK citizen and you don't want to worry about having to move to a country with a visa, you just want to move to a country with free movement and get citizenship through that route, the old European Union way of getting citizenship, Ireland is the best option in the world for that. And in my opinion, it actually probably does have the best passport in the world, irrelevant to that of the region. And now we're going to be talking about 4 non-European Union countries. Now, the first country on this list is sort of affiliated with the European Union, and what I mean by that is that it is part of the Schengen area, but still technically not part of the EU. That would be the Icelandic passport. The Icelandic citizenship is actually very good. Naturally, it's a Schengen area passport. The country does allow dual nationality. You naturally have to be able to speak the language if you want the passport. Now, the residence requirements are a little bit longer. The residence requirements for Iceland are that of 7 years. So it's not the basic 5 years, it's 7 years. If you are a citizen of any Nordic country, then it is 4 years. But if you are a non-EU citizen looking to get a European passport, then you are definitely not a Nordic citizen, because all of them are either EFTA, Schengen area, or European Union countries. So Iceland is a very good option. It does take a little while longer. The weather isn't personally great if you're looking for a more hot climate, but Iceland is a very cool country in the sense that, well, weather-wise, literally, but also they allow dual nationality. The passport is very good, and it's actually kind of an overlooked country in the getting multiple passport citizenship diversification community. Now, that could be its geographic isolation, but for me, that might be a good thing, that might be a bad thing. But the Icelandic passport is certainly very underrated. That's definitely how I would put it. Up next, the next 3 passports are all in the Balkan region of Europe. The first one would be that of Serbia. I've made a couple of videos talking about Serbia in the past. Serbia is actually a very good passport. If you talk about visa requirements and visa-free access alone, Serbia probably has one of the best passports in the world. The only thing that takes it down is that it does not yet have access to the United States via the visa waiver program. That is probably desired to change in the future, and if Serbia ever gets that, it will be an unbelievably strong passport with that how many countries they have access to. It's an unbelievable passport. It's really good. They again allow dual nationality, and actually with Serbia there's an interesting case. So Serbia naturally allows you to move there, get citizenship, assimilate into the culture, learn the language, and then in return they'll give you the passport via residency. But they also famously have citizenship by exception. You've seen many people get Serbian citizenship by exception. They either started a company in Serbia and got it that way because they hired Serbian people and contributed to the economy, or perhaps they made a film in Serbia, or maybe they contributed to the arts of Serbia, like I said. So Serbia is quite unique where they do openly have a citizenship by exception policy. Just look up notable cases of people who've been naturalized in Serbia. The list is quite long, and it is quite rare to see a country that actually publishes these lists. The next country on this list would be that of North Macedonia. Now, once again, North Macedonia does allow dual nationality, and actually it's a very strong passport, not as strong as a Serbian passport. But look, just because you're missing a couple of countries isn't that monumentally important. It also has beautiful scenery. North Macedonia, naturally, you also have to be able to speak Macedonian. That's a crucial part of getting citizenship. Residence requirements are also required there. You can also get it through descent. There are a lot of American people who have North Macedonian ancestry who have received North Macedonian citizenship by descent. So if you are someone with North Macedonian ancestry, citizenship by descent is certainly a very feasible option. Now, the final country on this is actually quite surprising whenever I tell people in private conversations this passport is very good, and in my opinion quite a decent looking second passport. That would be Albania. Now, Albania probably isn't the first country that comes to people's minds when they think of second passport, second citizenship, expat lifestyle. Well, look, Albania is on the Mediterranean coast, so if you want a Mediterranean country, there you go. The passport is actually very good. For how many bad things you read about Albania in the news, the Albanian passport is very good. And they allow dual nationality, so if you want a second option in Europe, Albania does seem to be a very good option. Once again, you have to know Albanian, have to have lived in the country legally for the required residency time, but you can also get Albanian citizenship through descent. Once again, quite similar to North Macedonia, there are many diaspora groups who have Albanian heritage, who have since received Albanian citizenship, whether they're living in a country like the United States, maybe the UK, any country around the world. So just be aware that if you do have Albanian ancestry and you think you can get the passport, maybe you had a parent or a grandparent who was from Albania, it's probably worth looking into it, because the Albanian passport, although it's not a European Union passport, is still a very good option in my opinion. Let me know which passport out of these 10 you think is the best, and if you want to find out what the worst European Union passports are, then be sure to click the top link in the description. I'll see you there.